Hello everyone. I wanted to introduce myself to you. Some of you probably have read my story on my passion for helping the arts, music, writing, literature, design in the schools. And the impetus behind that brought me to this moment. I wanted you to see that I'm a real person, and tell you a little bit about my passion behind this project. I wrote a story in which I said that I played trombone in junior high and I learned piano and I played that through junior high and into high school along with playing football. I studied music, literature and theory and went on to play in some professional bands. And it was a great life experience. Um, about 4 years ago, uh, I was, as I do a lot, playing the piano in my living room. And my son, who was then 10 and a half, who had never shown any interest in music or anything like that, played baseball, um, sat down at the piano and said, "Hey, how do you play that?" And I just walked him through some things. Well, being a kid, he went on to YouTube and found some sites in which he could learn how to play. And he just started to play and kept playing and kept playing. At the same time, he was going into middle school, starting middle school, which we all know can be a traumatizing time for young kids out of elementary school or grade school and into middle school. And he would go in every day, the teachers would tell me, and go into the auditorium and start playing. This is with no formal lessons or anything, just start playing. And he made friends. He ended up signing up for the orchestra where he learned bass. I have since presented him and given him and still do private lessons. My daughter decided to take the cello, and she plays the cello and she sings and she's teaching herself the ukulele. Now all this is good and probably happens in many families. But as I said in my story, when I went to their holiday concert last December 2016, and this was, my son started playing the bass in September, and my daughter was still in elementary school, about to enter into middle school this year. So at the orchestra, and they're playing their music and everything's good and all the proud parents and grandparents and friends are clapping, the teacher turns around and says, "I'm going to start passing out a coffee can. We had an accident with one of our cellos. It broke and we have no money in the budget to get it repaired." Well, it's kind of shocking to me, okay? I've never been in all my life involved in a school production where they passed around a can for donations. And what I saw, people giving, some people didn't give, and maybe they couldn't give, but it put everybody in a very awkward position. And so afterwards, when I was talking to my children, my son, I found out that there were other issues going on. I found out that not all the string instruments had strings. They had a limited budget for that. There weren't enough mouthpieces in some cases to go around for kids who wanted to play trombone or trumpet. Reeds for saxophone, clarinet. There weren't enough of the essentials for kids who wanted to learn and be a part of the organization. And I think I say in my post how this is an upper middle class A level school. And so it got me thinking, what's going on at the other schools? And I started making inquiries and talking to people. And I was finding out that throughout where I live, all the schools were having issues when it came to funding for the arts. Teachers were taking money out of their pocket in some cases to provide the necessary means to play, and in other cases they just weren't doing it. And it really shocked me. And so I talked to a school board member and said, listen, I think what I want to do is I want to create a nonprofit. I want to create something to go into the schools to help out. And no judgment. Doesn't matter what school. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about if we can help purchase a new cello, help provide strings for the instruments, help with purchasing new music. Maybe, if we're lucky, we can put together a trip to the local professional orchestra so kids have a chance to see what's out there. I mean, there's even things like a summer camp that's going on with the local orchestra where kids can learn for 3 or 4 weeks, play in a semi-professional orchestra setting. But there's a cost to it. And there might be some families that can afford it, and I'm sure they can. But there are other kids who would really benefit from this, and they can't afford it. And I'm sorry, I think that's wrong. And I'm asking for your help. I'm asking that you help me on this journey. I want to start out locally, but then I'd love to build it nationally. With no agenda here, no ego here. The only hope is that, kids, as we know, who get involved in the arts do better in school in general, mathematics and science. They feel better about themselves. There's a camaraderie there. There is a belief in accomplishment there. And I don't understand why as a society that would be the first thing we start cutting. But I don't want to get into the political side of it now. I just want to talk, excuse me, about the practical side of it. So that's my goal. And I'm going to go in. I'm going to help. I'm going to sit down and put in whatever I can time-wise. And I'm going to go in front of the school board and talk about it and see if I can bring some corporate sponsors into the aspect as well. Anyway, any help that you can provide would be greatly appreciated. And I promise to send updates. I promise to send any information that you're looking for. This is about helping kids, about giving kids something, an aspect of their life that, who knows, could lead into something. It may not, but at least it gives them an opportunity. Again, thank you very much, and hope to hear from you very soon.